Martiqua! Hi, honey, how are you? Fine! Would you like a microphone? I haven't turned it on yet. Oh dear. I have one, but I haven't turned it on. Oh, you have one? I have one right here. Oh, you're... Did I steal yours? No, no, there is only one. Oh, but we're loud enough then. Okay, well, yeah. Mood point. Whoever moved is. So what brings you to town?
Well, you know, I was really excited to talk to you about a vacation.
Vacation?
Yes, because I remember you telling me once a while ago that you and a friend of yours went on a cruise, on RSVP Cruise Line.
It was fabulous.
Right.
It was worth every penny.
Exactly. And I went on, well, I've gone on two, but I have photographs and images from one of them, and I thought this would be the perfect time to get together and sit down and look at those pictures and talk about the trip and talk about RSVP for our audience.
Well,
and give them a chance to see kind of what the atmosphere is like if you go on an RSVP cruise. Because fun, let me tell you.
Oh, wow.
Very fun.
Oh,
and
very exciting.
I thought it would be a good reason for us to get together again and
oh,
chat,
sure.
you know.
Chat.
Of course.
It's always great getting together with you, Martiqua.
I agree, it's fun for me too.
And look, you've got a fabulous hat.
I do have a fun little one this time. But I have some fun pictures that I wanted to share. Now, it's been a long time since I went on this cruise.
Yes?
Yes. Well, it took me a long time to find the pictures. No, you know how that is. So now that I finally have found them, I decided it was time to bring them over. I went in 1992.
Wow.
Which is quite a while ago.
You must have been just 18 then?
Oh. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. You didn't catch that hesitation, did you? I was only faking it. Anyway. So I went in 1992.
Oh my goodness.
That was the second.
Isn't that something?
And this
picture is fabulous, Martiqua.
Thank you. I went to the Caribbean, and this is on the island of St. Lucia. This is well, an image of me slightly altered from what you see here. But
was this airbrushed to be that svelte?
Well, they had. Well, thank you. Yes, that's what they did. Actually, in '92, I was skinny and cute, and now I'm gorgeous and bigger, which is fine.
It is fine. But isn't that shocking to see yourself back then?
Well, yes, it was. It was a surprise. But you know, it was really fun, and this is the kind of image that they do at the beginning, and they give every cruise goer an opportunity to have a photograph taken. I think it's probably for security reasons, if you must not cruise, especially now.
Probably.
But anyway, that would be what someone I know looked like way back in 1992.
And you were wearing hats back then.
I was.
Interesting.
I was.
Interesting.
I've always loved hats. And they do a lot of really fun things on this ship. I went on the SS Seabreeze.
Seabreeze, huh?
That's what it was called, yes. And they have, I don't know if you can see this in this picture here, but they have a pyramid there with their logo on the front of it.
Oh, wow.
And inside that pyramid we have balloons.
Really? How fun.
And what they do is at the beginning, when you first set sail, they do a little bon voyage thing where they open that little pyramid and they launch the balloons into the air.
How exciting.
I'm not sure how well you can see these.
That's wonderful. Yeah.
And they do a whole variety of those balloons and send them into the air for everyone to see that yet again RSVP is launching again. You can see it coming right out of the open pyramid there.
Sure. It's like a big, huge explosion.
Exactly, and they float everywhere. And you can see if you're in the harbor where we were, you can see other ships doing the same thing.
Oh, exciting.
Just before they leave, so there's balloons everywhere. It was a lot of fun. And one of the things that I enjoyed the most was the fact that people are really free when they're on these cruises. And I don't mean that they behave badly, I just mean that they feel very disconnected from the workaday world and the 9 to 5 and the conservative costume that we have to put ourselves in, you know. So they let themselves be a little bit more free, and they do really fun things. This cruise took place in April, I believe.
Okay.
And so it was right around Easter. Isn't Easter in April?
I think so.
I think it is. Anyway, so the fun thing that I saw was that we had a friend join us on the cruise, the Easter Bunny.
Oh,
and isn't she cute?
That is darling.
Isn't she cute? I thought she was really cute.
Very
the
cute.
Easter Bunny. She joined us.
Boy, people put a lot into those outfits.
They certainly do, or even just a little.
Yeah,
like
it's all
this one.
appreciated. Oh my.
Cheerleader by the pool.
Very nice.
Yeah, he was a fun guy. He was a fun guy. I liked him.
You meet lots of neat people, and to me, when I went, it was worth every penny. They treated you so well.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. You
so
really can end
RSVP
up,
is really a good choice.
right, and that you really can end up feeling quite spoiled.
Yes.
You really can. It's very nice.
When we first got on the ship, I remember there was an old lady at the bar going, "Okay, everybody, this is a gay cruise. Get gay! Get gay!"
I see.
And everyone else started laughing.
Of course.
Yeah, it set the tone. It was very nice. I have been on another cruise too, but it was not the same. It was
Really?
awful. They took you out for a couple of days, you know, at sea,
Mhm.
and then they closed things down at like 9 o'clock.
Oh no!
Yeah.
On the ship while you're at sea?
Yes, and I shouldn't say the cruise line name.
What is the point of that?
Oh, they left the casino open.
Oh.
So maybe they wanted you to
spend money.
spend money.
Yeah.
But we don't all gamble.
No. That's sad.
Yeah, it was sad.
That would be much more like living in, oh, I don't know, St. Paul, where they
St.
rub up
Paul.
the sidewalk at 6 o'clock at night. Sorry, St. Paul.
I know.
But-
lights out.
Yeah.
Well, this is supposed to be a vacation.
Right. And closing everything down at 9 o'clock?
I know.
That's disappointing.
And then my partner had extra bingo cards charged on his account,
Oh.
and he didn't even play bingo.
Oh, wonderful.
And they would not take him off his account. He had to come go to the purser's desk every day and sit, and then they'd say, "Okay, it's taken care of. You know, just check back tomorrow." And no, it wasn't taken care of.
Oh, wonderful.
And he had to continue weeks after we had gotten back, now making long distance phone calls about it.
You're kidding.
Yeah. Just
Wow.
awful.
I had no idea.
Just awful.
So,
But RSVP is worth every penny.
all right, you know what? I'm going to play devil's advocate. You
Yes.
know how I am.
Okay.
I want you to tell our audience who that other cruise line is. Because I think they deserve to know where they're not going to be treated as well.
In my opinion, is that better if I say
Yes,
it that way?
you can do it
In
that
my opinion, it was not much of a fun ship. Yes, it was Carnival Cruise Lines. And I felt like, oh my gosh, we spent all this money. Where's the fun ship?
And you know what? The thing is, I can reiterate this for you. Because I have other friends who went on a Carnival Cruise Line
Yes.
and had exactly the same experience.
Oh, it's so
extremely
disappointing.
negative, extremely uncomfortable, bills that were not accurate at all, exactly as you just described.
Oh, that's
So now that you
terrible.
said the name, I can actually reiterate, because I actually know it's true.
So RSVP and Carnival. You choose, right?
Exactly. Because, well, there's a slight difference when you take an RSVP cruise. You get fun poolside games like this with that luscious lady there is called Mrs. Pooh.
Mrs. Pooh.
And she was so much fun. She's the one that ended up, she missed the launch of the ship.
Oh dear.
Okay, because we had already set sail and she missed it. And this is the person that ended up coming aboard our ship by helicopter with
Oh
a
my.
gigantic trunk that was her costume for the trip. Trust me, it was huge. And they had to bring it down with big chains attached to it and land it on the deck of the ship. And then the helicopter, after they disconnected the chains and moved the crate out of the way, then they lowered the helicopter and she came down the steps like a diva.
What an entrance.
I guess. And all because she had so much stuff, you know. Not that any drag queen I know would ever travel so heavily like that. I certainly didn't. Wink.
Wink, wink, wink.
Boy, did I have a lot of stuff. But how much fun. See, this is the second shot of Mrs. Pooh there by the pool.
Oh, yes.
She's enjoying one of the
my.
fellow sailors. How much fun. And they had a costume ball on the ship.
Very neat.
Very nice. And that was, well, if I can be so blunt, one of the very first times that Martiqua was ever seen in public.
Ooh!
Yes.
Exciting.
It was. It was very nerve-wracking.
See?
I was scared to death, but it was fun. I had a wonderful time. It was great.
Oh.
What a terrific experience.
What got Martiqua starting to be Martiqua anyway? I thought we'd ask Martiqua that.
Okay. Well, that's a good question. I think the idea of Martiqua, the idea of dressing in women's clothes, was something that I think I've always been fascinated by. I remember being interested in that even as a little kid.
Interesting.
And I don't know, I remember creating a character called Auntie Bluebell.
Auntie Bluebell?
Yes. And to be Auntie Bluebell, I put on one of my grandmother's dresses and bounced around in the front porch of our house. Now, why? I have no idea. But there's something inside of us that needs that.
Oh, yeah.
I think. And not that I feel less than whole when I'm not dressed, but I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun to get to play with the idea of presenting as female, and sharing that with the world can be very scary.
Oh yeah.
And it can be very physically painful for me, especially.
Yes, absolutely.
But apparently, it being frightening and it being painful those things were not strong enough to deter me from doing it. Because I still love it.
Oh.
And I do it all the time. I mean, I used to perform on stage occasionally, you know, in the clubs, but that was never something I did, you know, it wasn't a big vocation, and it wasn't that important to me, but I did that for a little while, and it got really wearing on me physically.
Oh, sure.
And so I had to
bringing
find
all
other
your stuff
ways.
downtown.
Right, and running up and down the stairs in the basement all night long during the show.
And this broken beer bottle glass in the basement.
Yes.
Here you are in nylons, really trying not to shred them or your feet.
Yes. Not to mention coming up with the money to be able to afford to be in a show.
Oh, I know.
You know, get the clothes and keep the shoes and the makeup and all that stuff. It's expensive.
It sure is.
I have found a way, and right now this show is an outlet for me, and I love it.
Bev Johnson here, out in the great outdoors to tell you all about myself. I am 5'5". I have lovely auburn hair, enjoy dancing, drinking, dining, and I'm a nature girl. I like to swim, I like to hike, I like to just explore every aspect of the great outdoors. I'll go hiking in this, honey, if that makes you happy. Looking for a nice man, a man who can keep up to me, and one that's going to have a lot of fun. Communing with nature and communing with the BJ. Take care.
Hi, Martiqua. How are you doing?
I'm feeling contemplative and subtle.
Subtle. You look just brilliant today.
Thank you.
My goodness.
You know, always the best man, never bride. I hate that.
Oh, sure.
Anyway.
That's actually been part of your life.
Yes.
You were a best man at a wedding.
I was.
Oh, goodness. Come and tell me about it.
All right. Well, I will.
Goodness sakes. I've never seen this ensemble before.
No, you haven't. I would like to officially say that I want to dedicate this segment and this ensemble to my little friend Chloe Jean.
Chloe Jean. One big wow for Chloe Jean. Wow! Hi, Chloe Jean.
Hi, Chloe. Thank you.
Oh.
I just have one question for you, Chloe Jean. Is it diva?
I'd say yes.
Yeah. I think so. Anyway.
Well, it's so great to see you here. I see you've got a veil. Ooh, you were involved with a wedding too, weren't you?
I was, yes, I was. I have always been a best man and never a bride.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
I thought it was appropriate to share with our friends today something having to do with young people in the school system.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, because, you know, things are really changing from when you and I were little in the school system.
Oh, I had no idea.
Well, lots of things about the school system are changing.
Oh.
But one of them is that, in fact, I just heard the other day,
Yes.
someone who works in the public school system who basically said that every high school in the Minneapolis public system now has a GSA, which stands for a Gay Straight Alliance.
Ooh, I never heard of them.
And basically what they are is an opportunity to get students and staff talking about GLBT issues while they are at school. Not necessarily as part of a lesson plan, but just to give students especially a safe place where they can have conversation with friends and, you know, develop friendships with others like themselves. And
Sure, absolutely.
And I don't know, I think it's a good idea.
I think if it had been around when I was around there, it probably would have helped me relax a
Well,
little
I
more.
certainly would have been a part of it. Subtle that I am, you know.
I know
Had they had such a thing then. But, like, for example, okay, there's an organization called Equality Forum, and they have a website on the internet called equalityforum.com that you can go to find out all sorts of information. But one of the realms of information that they provide is material on GSAs. Gay Straight Alliances, yeah.
Huh.
And one of the things that they say is that the number of gay straight alliances in U.S. high schools has grown from 100 in 1997 to over 3,200 in 2005.
Oh, incredible.
So yes, it is. I mean, you know, that's only 8 years.
Oh my gosh, that's
And
fabulous.
that's incredible. And part of that is because younger people are coming out at younger ages. They feel more confident in coming out at younger ages and openly talking about that and seeking friendships and connections with others like themselves and with adults who have some type of understanding about this.
That is so healthy, I think.
I think so too.
We are coming along in the right directions in some areas.
We are.
We certainly are.
Psychologically, it has to have improved the psyche of many children, many young people. I shouldn't say children, because this is in high school, secondary, so they're not really children so much anymore.
No.
But,
it is an interesting period to go through, and if you had some kind of alliance to talk out some issues, I think that would only help.
Right, I think so too.
Huh.
And in fact, the organization that I was talking about, Equality Forum, they have produced gay history guides that were distributed to 3,200 high school gay straight alliances.
Oh my goodness.
So they have materials available now for the students in the gay straight alliances or GSAs to give them basis for conversation and discussion, and for involving the administration and the staff as well in their discussions, which I think is wonderful. But what motivated me to start talking about this was an article in the March 17th, 2006 issue of Lavender magazine, which is a news magazine for the Twin Cities area where we are living.
Here in Minnesota.
Right.
Okay.
And the column, or the article, is written in a regular column of the magazine called Letter of the Law. And it's written by Phil Duran. And there is, let's see, years ago, it was religious organizations. Let's see. In the 1980s, conservatives became upset that many public school administrators placed what they felt to be unwarranted restrictions on religion-related student groups, such as Bible study groups. They successfully lobbied Congress to pass a bill called the Equal Access Act to address the situation. This law applies to public secondary schools, or junior and senior high schools, that are receiving federal funds, and virtually all of them do. They create what the law calls a limited public forum, meaning that the school permits at least one student-initiated non-curricular group to meet during non-instructional time. If one such group exists, then a limited public forum has been created, and the EAA, the Equal Access Act, prohibits a school district from denying any student group in that forum the same types of access to school facilities granted to others. In other words, if one group meeting the standards set out in EAA gets to use the public address system, for example, then all other such groups must be allowed to use it also.
Oh, wow.
So what has happened because of the creation of EAA is that it has established a legal precedent for GSAs to be started. Where schools would normally have said, that's unacceptable, we won't allow a group such as this to exist. Because the EAA was created, they have to allow GSAs to exist, which is how they basically got started.
Oh, that's exciting.
Because there's legal precedent to support it, and laws that have to be upheld. They're required by law to do this. They cannot discriminate now.
That's exciting.
And, yeah, it is, in fact. And as an example of what happens when they try to, the American Civil Liberties Union filed a lawsuit in federal court against officials in White County High School in Cleveland, Georgia, for banning a gay-straight alliance group. When several students at the school petitioned the principal to start a GSA on campus last year, administrators announced plans to ban all non-curricular student groups because they didn't want the GSA to be started.
Oh my goodness.
But they allowed a shooting club, as in guns or something,
yes,
and a school dance team to meet on campus.
Oh.
Okay. Now, one of the co-counsel for ACLU of Georgia said, the Federal Equal Access Act states that schools have to treat all non-curricular clubs equally. Now, another ACLU attorney added, administrators are very aware of the law. They are choosing not to follow it.
Oh.
So there are situations where they're still being denied, obviously. But the fact that the most recent information that I heard just the other day is that basically every high school or most high schools have a GSA in them now all across the country. And so as a result of that, students are getting a chance to finally say, this is what we want.
Very
I mean, the
cool.
students have gone to the administration and said, we want to create this. It doesn't usually happen until a group of students have said, we want to do this. So it's not like they're being forced by law to say, we have this thing available called the GSA, anyone who wants to be involved can be. They're not doing that. They're waiting for the students to actually come to them and say, we want to start this. Which I think is brilliant because it completely shows how drastically things have changed over time. We have students coming out at younger ages and going to the adults around them and saying, we want to do this, please let us. And now there are laws to support their right to have it on the school property during non-instructional time.
Oh, that's so
So
exciting.
it's social,
Yeah.
it's supportive, it's encouragement, and there are just as many, and I will say this too, there are just as many staff, administrators, and other adults involved in the process of keeping the GSAs running as there are students involved.
Oh.
So however much the administration might be unaccepting of the idea, there are adults who are supportive of the idea as well. If you consider the fact that you have out GLBT educators in the school system and those who have GLBT people in their families and in their experience, it makes sense that we're gaining individuals who are willing to provide support. So it's happening, which is really encouraging.
Oh, sure.
And I chose to talk about that today on a day when I dedicate my fabulous ensemble to my little friend Chloe, because Chloe is a little girl.
Yeah.
And eventually she will grow to an age where maybe with the experience that she has had in her life by that point, she would be willing to say, I want a GSA in my school because my nanny was a gay man and I love him.
Oh.
So I think we need to learn about that.
Absolutely.
I can see my little friend
Chloe
doing that when she gets older. So I thought it was important for us to talk about this while I was wearing her fabulous boa that her brother bought her.
Oh, how
her
fun.
older brother.
Yes.
Yes, and her wedding play clothes that her auntie gave her. Yes, indeed.
You are totally borrowed.
I am.
Oh.
In fact, I got this fabulous bracelet, which I think complements the ensemble marvelously, from a friend of mine, the diva sitting right next to me.
Oh, yay! You can borrow my clothes anytime, girl.
Well, thank you.
Well, this is so mentally healthy for everyone, I think.
It is.
Having this
I agree.
gay-straight alliance allows people to share ideas and learn from each other, you know?
In fact, perfect, because it says, studies suggest that the simple presence of a GSA in a school can have a positive impact on school climate for GLBT students and consequently on academic performance of those same students. Because if they feel better about being at school, they're going to perform better.
Absolutely. Whereas if they're afraid of getting beaten up in the hallway, they might not focus so much on arithmetic.
Left behind, wink.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Maybe with a GSA in their school, there won't be any child left behind.
Oh, yes,
Wink.
I know it. Yeah, I wonder how that program's going.
Yeah, I wonder. I don't know. But all of this, the original discussion of this in this article took place because of students in Maple Grove, Minnesota.
Really?
Filing against their school district because of the treatment of the students who were in the GSA by the administration.
Ooh, Maple Grove students. Here's to you.
Yes,
Keep up the good
indeed.
fight, all right? We're behind you
Cheers.
all the way, and we know it takes an awful lot to go up against anything.
That's right.
And you're
Courage.
doing it. One big
Yes.
wow for Maple Grove. Wow! Who's fabulous? They are!
Yes, yes indeed.
That's so exciting.
Isn't it fun?
And you know, it also, you know, there's the portion of the population who are not straight that commits suicide because they feel so bad about themselves. So there's that aspect of it. And then there's the portion of the straight people or people that aren't gay that don't understand it and hurt those poor gay people or lesbian people or transgender or bisexual, just others, hurting others. So this is just going to be a healthier environment for everybody. Thank goodness.
It has to be. It has to be more healthy. How can it not be? I mean, if you're allowing more of the students, or a larger number of the students, to be who they are.
Wow.
And you're telling them it's okay. You know, it's all right.
Very cool.
We may not agree with everything that you decide
Well,
for your life.
I kind of like it.
Well, you know, I mean, some of us are born fabulous and some of us have to work at it.
Yes.
So we give them the right atmosphere and they'll work and become even more fabulous.
Absolutely.
That's right. Even if they scare the neighbors who go by on bikes.
Da, 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 da. Well, by the way, we are drawing a crowd here.
Are we?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Mm,
That's good.
absolutely. One of the townhouse members here called the president of the association, and the president ran over to his house, and then she took off in a car, and now he's on bicycle.
Is that true?
Yes.
Oh, I missed all of that.
This is a good place to sit.
Oh,
Wish I had
my.
some popcorn. I could watch the whole thing from here. But that's what we're saying. It's so important in any venue to just be able to be yourself. And Maple Grove students, I just love hearing these great stories.
Yeah, isn't it marvelous? It warms my heart. Indeed.
Well, should we go on with our fabulous day?
Yes, let's. I just wanted to share this with everybody because I thought it was such a good idea. And it was very heartening.
It was wonderful, Martiqua.
Yay.
Here's to all you fabulous people out there for just being yourselves. Cheers. Goodbye.
Bye, Chloe Jean.
Bye, Chloe. Thanks for the great ensemble and the great ideas.
remember when we're in the Piazza San Marco in Italy, and all those wonderful, wonderful pigeons were all over Danny Kaye and I. Well, let's see if it happens with seagulls up here on the North Shore. We're in Tofty, Minnesota. It's really fit in. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful weather. Gorgeous scenery. So let's just see what happens if I get the birds to come around. Well, okay, they're coming around. Aren't they? Oh, I don't think I want to. That's enough. Yeah, I don't think they're quite as friendly as the pigeons, but they're here. Take care. Out into that sunlight.
Not to mention coming up with the money to be able to afford to be in a show.
Oh, I know.
You know, get the clothes and keep the shoes and the makeup and all that stuff. It's expensive.
It
but
sure is.
I have found a way, and right now this show is an outlet for me, and I love it.
It's like being an artist.
In a way. Yeah.
Painting your eyes, deciding what to wear, or just trying something different.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very artistic.
Yeah, and there are a lot of different kinds of artists in the world. You know, there's Salvador Dali, and there's...
Who cut off his ear?
Well, that was Van Gogh.
Van Gogh?
Yeah.
Oh, the best.
Yeah.
All the psychologically stable are very artistic.
Right, exactly. And so we're in good company, whether you realize it or not. And we try to remind ourselves of that when we don't always feel like we're in very good company. But I know that for me, RSVP was a wonderful way to be among friends and be among a supportive community.
Oh, yeah.
When I finally had made the decision that I was ready to do this, and I remember being very excited about the realization that I had spent a full 24 hours out of a week in dress,
Oh, wow.
in face, for one of the cruises I've been on.
Wow.
Now, not that doesn't mean 24 hours around the clock. That means 24 hours over a week-long period that I was on the cruise ship. And I had so much fun doing it, and it's so liberating. And when I went to the Caribbean and was doing my shopping, you know, we have to shop, I found a fabulous outfit and a pair of earrings that was my souvenir for the cruise that I bought for myself. And
Wow.
Martiqua had a wonderful time and had her portrait done on the ship.
Oh.
It was marvelous, and I do have that photograph, and maybe someday I will share that with our audience.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So it's been a journey in a way. She's changed a lot over the years, quite a bit. One of my best friends, one of my co-workers, when I was stayed in conservative, way back in the late 80s, is the woman that helped me come up with Martiqua's, well, the spelling of Martiqua's name.
Oh, wow.
Because I had found out just after I had decided on the name that there was actually a pop music performer by the name of Martiqua.
Oh.
And I thought, I don't want anyone to confuse us,
No.
as if that's going to be possible. But I was afraid it might happen, don't know why. But so I insisted that she help me come up with a really unusual way to spell Martiqua's name. And so, in fact, she came up with the spelling that I have now, and that I've used ever since. And, you know, Martiqua was first, and then the other characters that I gradually imagined over time because of the show came into being. And she's changed a lot. She used to look like a church-going girl in little suits and little pretty dresses and all of that. And now she wears a wide variety of things and does a lot of different looks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
How old is Martiqua?
Well,
that was 92.
Chronologically, I'm 41. But Martiqua is probably, well, let's see. She probably came into being around 89.
Okay.
So, yeah, so she's probably 20.
Yeah. It's as young as we feel.
Yeah. Well, yes, that's
we
true.
do.
Now, how about you?
Oh, yes. I was going to my 10th year reunion at school, and I came back. I was driving back. Everyone, of course, at school said, "Oh, I'm an attorney. Oh, I'm a doctor. Oh, probably all baloney."
Oh, well, maybe.
And I was trying to think, well, what the heck do I want to do in the next 10 years of my life, you know? And drag queens have always brought me so much fun. They have always just entertained the heck out of me. And so I thought, well, let's try that.
Wow, cool.
Yeah. So then I went to the 90s and asked the bartender if I could talk with Allison Brooks.
Oh, okay.
And she was daring enough to put me on the show.
Wow. Right
so
away?
That started there.
Wow.
Yeah. Or the next show
I
she
love
had.
Allison Brooks, actually. She's very sweet.
And the biggest proponent of me or anybody really was Mr. Ron. If you showed up and you were dressed and had a cassette tape, you were in his show. He didn't care that you weren't scheduled. And if you had another one, he'd let you do that too. He wanted more variety. And so he would push people to do as much as they wanted.
Things have changed just a little bit in that regard now, however.
Mr. Ron is no longer performing, I believe.
That's true. In fact, it's been quite a while.
Yeah.
And the venue where he performed most of the time and was the headliner has changed its look tremendously since then. And the stage is in a different location, and the performance space is very drastically different than it was. Sorry. Furball. You know, I should take care of that before the camera starts.
No.
No.
So yeah, I wonder what it is like downtown now. I really haven't been downtown dressed for a while.
It's been a very long time for me. A very long time.
Of course, the venue has changed. The 90s is now, I don't know what you call it, just changed. We'll just say that. Changed.
Yeah.
Life changes. It's not bad. It's just a part of it. But this show is so exciting because you don't have to actually show up one night downtown to see us.
Right.
We play in 16 different towns and many different, at different times. Like out in Burnsville, Egan, we play 4 times a week.
Wow.
Yeah. And we're soon to be on the web.
Terrific.
If you have QuickTime, you can play us, which is only about 40% of you will be able to see us, our episodes on the web. But we're accelerating that now. We got a brand new program where 86% of you will be able to play it. So
wow.
We're working with that, and people will see us all over, maybe even the world.
I think that's one of the things I've most admired and enjoyed about watching the development of the show. Even though I've been a part of it, I still watch it
You were a part
from
of
the outside.
the previous show.
Yeah, I was.
Your show, which material goes back a while.
Yeah, it does. You're right.
I don't remember when Get Off My Dress started.
I don't either. It was...
That's a while ago.
Yeah, it was quite a while ago. I don't remember when we started either. That went through a lot of changes even during the time it was on the air too.
It sure did.
But
and you started in our musical.
I did. That was fun too.
Queens and Oz.
Yes, that was fun too.
Maybe we'll play that someday.
Yeah, we can certainly. Haven't we had parts of it on the air already?
We did in that other show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's right, you know I'm old.
Oh, no.
The pieces fall out of their place once in a while.
I think that it's really important for people to break away and take vacations.
I agree.
Mentally.
I agree.
I think we all work pretty hard.
Yep.
And you just need to get away.
Trust me, look at us. We work really hard.
Really hard.
And you should feel fortunate that you don't know the half of it.
Well, it takes an awful lot of planning to do what you do. You've got to plan it all out in your own place.
That's true.
Then you get all ready.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come out. And I pick you up in the little pumpkin I have.
Mm-hmm.
And off we go.
Yep.
And then we bring all your stuff in. Now that's a big deal. But you've got to put these studio lights up.
Right. And we got to make sure the electric circuits are set up properly, and we have to get the sound working properly.
Oh yes, the microphones. We have to remember that.
And the set
Wow.
changes constantly,
It does. I
which
think
is
we have
part of the
poltergeist.
fun. You know, that's part of the fun.
It is.
And this is really the first time we've ever sat down and chatted about the ins and outs of putting it together. And I mean, how does that relate to going on a vacation? Well, I'll tell you, I know the answer to that.
Oh, good.
Because the fact of the matter is that being a part of this show is very much a vacation from the rest of the world and the rest of my life.
It is
And
a vacation.
it helps keep me sane. However insane we may look, it helps keep me sane in the rest of my life. And I know for a fact, even though I'm saying it and you're not, that one of the reasons you do this show and created all the other shows that you were a part of is to give yourself that disconnection and some fun.
Absolutely.
And it's a lot of work, but this is a lot of fun.
It certainly is. And worth it. Oh my
Right.
goodness.
If it were not fun for us, we would not be going through all of the darker side of things to get to the fun that we present to you. Because, I mean, it is worth it, or we wouldn't go through it.
We all have lives and we all work hard, but it is so important to find one little place where you can just create whatever. Maybe you sing, maybe you dance, maybe you're coming up with a character,
Right.
maybe you're showing us how to make stuff. Just despite the world, forget the world and carve out a little happiness today for yourself.
And at the
I
same
think that
time,
gives you strength.
present that happiness
fun.
and silliness and fun to the rest of the world.
Why not?
Give them a chance to see something different, and maybe they will actually take the risk of trying to change their existence a little bit. I'm not suggesting that everyone become beautifully glamorous like we are, because that's not appropriate for everyone to do, but it certainly is a lot of fun for us.
Oh, it certainly is.
And we hope in the process that we can teach you something.
Sure.
Share something with you that you didn't know about.
Absolutely, and we have done that. Your Java pudding, it's got rave reviews.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I never expected to ever be part of a cooking show. I never expected
Me
to be
either.
part
You
of-
know how we come up with that? I wanted to come up with a segment, and I said, well, I don't know how to cook. It's perfect.
Of course! Of course!
And I didn't. And so it shows.
Maybe some of our episodes show that, yes. But the fact is that they all are legitimate recipes.
Yes, they
And
are.
they actually can be used, and you can actually come up with something edible.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you screw up like we did with one of our recipes. But you know that happens sometimes. But that's how we develop ideas for the show, is all of a sudden somebody will say, you know, we need to do something different, and I think it needs to be this. And then everybody will say, that is a great idea, go with it. See what
Oh,
you come
yeah.
up with, and we'll help you.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's how it works.
A great example of that is that holiday musical we did.
Oh, yes.
Hard Candy Christmas.
Candy Christmas.
Yeah. BJ wanted to do something, and well, we just fit right in.
I
Sure,
know,
where do you
so
want us?
That was one of the most fun things I've ever done on this show. That was hilarious. I had a ball. It was a lot of fun.
And you were outside sitting on suitcases.
Yeah, and it was fun. It was silly and it was great. And it turned out really good.
Isn't it? It turned out so professional.
Yeah, I
It's
think
like,
so.
wow.
That's awesome. Who knew?
I know it.
Sometimes the success of the episodes and the pieces of it that we show you are just as much of a surprise to us as they are to you. But we're very happy when it works out that way anyway.
Yeah. So take your vacations when you can get them.
That's right. Even if doing it means you have to create a cable access television show like this.
Why not? Think about doing it with your friends.
Sure.
And you learn some techie stuff. You learn about lighting and how to run a camera. And you
How
save lots of
expensive
happy
computer systems are.
Yes, you learned that too.
Yeah.
But your cable access actually does have computer systems you can use there too.
Right.
So for like $50 a year, $40 a year, that's the membership fee. In some places, St. Paul is like 50 and Minneapolis is 40. But if you live in St. Paul, it's really cheap. It's only 25 or something.
Wow.
And in Egan and Burnsville and Roseville, it's totally free.
Wow.
You don't have to pay at all.
Oh, wow.
So it's fun. Get together with your friends and do it.
Yeah. That's how we got to this point. Was doing that. We started doing that.
Get on the couch.
Yep.
That's how we got here.
That's right.
Well, thanks, Martiqua, for showing us.
Thank you. And thanks to RSVP2 for their fabulously fun cruises. And their opportunity for us to be silly and have fun with our friends.
Very
It's a great idea. Take a cruise if you get a chance.
Do it.
Yes.
See the world.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Excellent.
Well, that was a 2-hour segment. But that's all right.
I think you need to change tapes. Oh, we got 9 minutes left.
Oh, that's
good
good.
time to switch.
That's very good. Okay. I pulled out warm stuff because, you know, it's winter. But I
Oh
have
God,
to
you're
remember,
cooking, aren't you?
It's not winter in the house.
No, I know.
I've been okay so far, but I'm getting warm now. It's time to change this.
Absolutely.
And yes, I turned off the microphone.
Oh, okay, thanks. Oh, I should do the same. Save on the batteries. Yeah, that's nice. Maybe giving people a feel for what would it be like to have a show.
Well, we didn't know we were going to go into all of that. But that was really fun.
Yeah, and we got to learn about Martiqua.
Yeah.